Today, we're going to go on a little journey. We're going to uncover the absolutely extraordinary science that's hiding in the most ordinary things all around us. So, get ready to discover some truly invisible miracles. I mean, just think about your morning. You probably zipped up a jacket, maybe poured some coffee into a mug. These are things we do every single day, right? We barely even notice them. But what if I told you that the science behind those simple actions is, well, it's nothing short of astonishing. You see, every single object you touch is this little triumph of human ingenuity. It's a really clever solution to a problem you might not even realize you have. So, come on, let's peel back the layers and discover some of the secrets that are hiding in plain sight. Okay, let's start with something so simple you've probably already used one today. I'm talking about the humble coffee mug. Think about it. That coffee is scorching hot. It's hot enough to give you a serious burn in just seconds, but somehow you can hold that mug and not feel a thing. How is that even possible? Well, the answer is in the fascinating world of material science.
So it all comes down to this one principle called thermal conductivity. You can think of heat as just a bunch of vibrating molecules. Now, some materials are fantastic at passing those vibrations along, but others, they're just terrible at it. And your mug, well, it has been expertly designed to be one of the terrible ones.
You see, the molecules inside the ceramic are all locked into this really rigid structure, which makes it a terrible conductor of heat. We call that an insulator. So the warmth, it just stays on the inside, right where you want it. Metal, on the other hand, is an amazing conductor, which is exactly why you would not want to drink hot coffee from a metal cup. Ouch! And it's not just a ceramic. Every single part of the mug is a piece of brilliant engineering. The body insulates, sure, but the handle, that creates an air gap for extra protection. And guess what? Air itself is a fantastic insulator. And that smooth glaze on the inside, that's actually a thin layer of glass that seals up the ceramic, making it safe to drink from and super easy to clean. All right, let's move on to our next miracle. This is something you've probably used dozens of times today without a single second thought: the zipper. The zipper is just a masterclass in what we call mechanical advantage. It takes that tiny little bit of force you use with your fingers and multiplies it, like hundreds of times, to perform this really complex and powerful task. It's incredible. Okay, so here's how this elegant little machine works. Each tooth on the zipper has a tiny bump on the top and a little hollow on the bottom. The slider that you pull has this perfectly engineered Y-shaped channel inside it. And as you pull it up, that channel forces the two rows of teeth together at a very specific angle, snapping each bump perfectly into a hollow. And that angle, that's the real secret to the zipper's magic. It basically acts like a simple wedge, and it does all the heavy lifting for you. So you're not actually forcing the teeth together yourself, you're just guiding them. The slider does all the rest, locking them together one by one with incredible precision.
So for our final example, let's look at a fastener that was literally copied directly from nature.
Oh, this story is fantastic. Back in 1941, an engineer named George de Mestral came back from a walk with his dog, and they were both covered in burrs. Now, instead of just getting annoyed, he got curious. He actually put one of those burrs under a microscope, and what he found was nature's perfect little fastening system. This whole idea has a name, It's called biomimicry. I mean, why reinvent the wheel when nature has already had billions of years of R&D, right? De Mestral saw this brilliant solution, and that same principle is now inspiring everything from new architecture to medical adhesives. The design he came up with is just beautifully simple. One side is covered in thousands of these stiff, tiny hooks. The other side is just a field of thousands of soft, tiny loops. And when you press them together, the hooks just catch in the loops. It's really that simple and that brilliant. But the real genius of Velcro, it lies in its collective strength. See, each individual hook and loop connection is actually surprisingly weak. But when you get thousands of them all working together, they create this incredibly strong bond. It's a perfect example of strength in numbers. So what do all these everyday things have in common? Well, they're all a testament to the power of human ingenuity. And once you really start to see the science behind them, you'll realize that you are surrounded by a world of wonders. Science isn't some abstract thing that just happens in a lab somewhere. It is right here. It's the material science that's keeping your coffee hot. It's the mechanical engineering that's fastening your jacket. And it's the biomimicry securing your shoes, all inspired by a simple walk in the woods. Once you start looking at the world this way, you realize that every single object is a teacher. It's a physical solution to a problem, just sitting there waiting for you to get curious and ask how it works.
The ordinary world is absolutely packed with these extraordinary stories of science and creativity. They're everywhere, just hiding in plain sight. So, my question to you is, what miracle will you investigate next?